You ever look at someone who just seems to have it all together? They're setting goals, they're hitting them, and you're just left wondering, how do they do that? Well, this explainer is all about getting to the bottom of that. Why is it that some of us seem totally wired to plan for the future, while others feel like they're just fighting to get through the day?
So, you've got these two basic groups. On one side, you have the planners. These are the folks who work towards their goals, they feel productive, they're always moving forward. And then, you have the strugglers. For them, it's a totally different story. Every day feels like pushing a boulder uphill. They have to rely on sheer willpower, they try to build habits that just don't stick, and their default state? It's pretty much inaction. Sound at all familiar?
So what's the deal here? I mean, is it really just about discipline? Are some people just born to be planners and others aren't? It turns out the reason for this split is actually way deeper and, frankly, a lot more profound than you might think.
Yeah, the answer, in a huge number of cases, is trauma. Specifically, trauma that happened during those really critical developmental years in childhood. And look, this isn't about pointing fingers or placing blame. It's about understanding this incredibly powerful survival mechanism that our brains create when the world feels dangerous.
This brings us to a really fascinating idea called the loss of the future dimension. Think about it like this. If your childhood taught you again and again that the future is completely unreliable and that getting your hopes up only leads to pain, well, your brain makes a perfectly logical choice. It just stops planning for the future. It's too risky.
Okay, to make this really hit home, let's look at an example. Picture a kid going up to their parent, totally hopeful, super excited, and they ask this simple question. The parent says yes, and immediately that kid's mind just lights up with possibilities. They're planning, they're looking forward to it.
And then the next day comes, and for whatever reason, maybe the parent is dealing with their own issues, maybe they just forgot, the promise is broken, the party's off. And just like that, the future that this kid was so excited about, it just evaporates. This is way more than just a disappointment. It's a lesson, a really powerful one.
And here's the lesson the brain learns when this kind of thing happens over and over. Lesson 1, wanting things can lead to pain. Lesson 2, the future cannot be trusted. Lesson 3, it hurts way too much to get your hopes up. And the final conclusion, it's just safer not to plan at all.
So if the future becomes this dangerous, off-limits place, what happens to all that amazing brain power? Well, it gets rerouted. It shifts away from any long-term goals and focuses all of its energy on one single, all-important mission. Just get through today.
And this is what surviving today looks like. It's not abstract, it's a checklist. One person described becoming a world-class expert at figuring out their dad's mood the second he walked through the door. All their mental energy went into this. Hear him arrive, assess his mood, plan how to be invisible. The goal wasn't do my homework for next week, the goal was make it through tonight.
Now, it's so important to get this. When we say trauma, we're not just talking about physical abuse. That's part of it, for sure. But it can also mean having super controlling parents who never let you make a choice for yourself. Or it can be something called parentification, which is when a kid is forced to become a caretaker for their own parent. All of these things teach the brain that same lesson. Your plans don't matter, only survival does.
And here's where it gets even deeper. This survival mode, it's not just a thought pattern. It's not just a mindset you can change. It's a physical, biological state that gets wired into your body.
See, our bodies have two main modes. The first is survival mode, a catabolic state. This is when your body is flooded with stress hormones like cortisol, and it's literally breaking down its own tissues for quick energy to face an immediate threat. The opposite is building mode, or an anabolic state. That's when we repair, we grow, we invest energy for the future. So many people who struggle are quite literally stuck in that physical survival state.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly sums up the whole thing, whether we're talking on a mental level, like not planning a birthday party, or on a physical level, where your body is breaking itself down for energy right now. The core idea is exactly the same. The future is being sacrificed just to survive the present.
So that leaves us with this final, really powerful question to think about. What if this whole struggle to be productive, to plan, to build better habits, what if it has nothing to do with being lazy or not having enough willpower? What if it's all about a deep, unconscious, and totally valid need to feel safe? It kind of changes everything, doesn't it? It shifts the whole conversation from judgment to compassion. Definitely something to chew on.